Yo, what up? It's Monday morning out here, and today we're going to be talking about the brutally simple cold email that always books calls, So it's going to be great stuff. This is a great cold email structure that I've again used for like 3-4 years, and it's something that isn't relying on any new sales technologies. It's like an OG email. Obviously in 2025 there's a lot of clay going on and a lot of these fancy apps and tools and AI personalization, etc. This email is brutally simple. It doesn't require any of that. It requires zero personalization, and it is super powerful. This is something that we use a lot and have used to book thousands of calls over the years. And after you watch this video, you can implement this into your own cold email campaigns and into your own business in probably 30 to 60 minutes. And if you have never used cold email, or maybe you are a beginner with cold email, this is the perfect structure to start out with. So we're gonna go into it. Of course, before we get into it, if you run an agency, seems like ClickFunnels might be broken once again. But if you run an agency and you wanna work one-on-one with me and my team and scale it together to 30 to 40 or $50,000 a month, go check out the Angel Velocity from link in bio or from link in description. Hopefully the website is working then. If it isn't, just click this cryptic schedule demo button and go and schedule a call with me. We'll see if it's a fit for your business. We obviously can't help everyone. We're not magicians, but the people who we can help, we guarantee them $10,000 in new monthly recurring revenue to their agency. And we just get crazy results. So go book a call with me. Let's see if we can help you scale your agency. But so getting into it, here I just have like one example campaign that we ran like a month ago, and we reached out to 1,500 leads, 250 unique replies, so 16.7% response rate, which is pretty good, I'd say so. And for like 30, 40, 50 of these end up booking into a call. I didn't handle the appointment setting from it, so I can't be 100% sure. But this prints and it's brutally simple. So the first thing that you have to understand, this is, I think, like just a massive bottleneck or massive understanding issue when it comes to cold email, especially when it's people who are more beginners. They like when you have a cold email campaign, you always have your cold email, you send out a cold email, and then from a cold email you're gonna get a positive response. And this positive response can look like a bunch of other things. Maybe you offered a free video or a lead magnet, or maybe you just asked if they're interested, or maybe you asked them to book a call. The positive response is going to look a little bit different. Someone's going to say, yes, this is interesting. Please send me more information. Yes, send me the video. Yes, send me the lead magnet. Yes, let's hop on a call. Whatever is happening, you're always looking for positive responses. And then from these positive responses, of course, the goal is to book sales meetings. And again, it could be something else than sales meetings. Maybe you're getting people to sign up to a newsletter. Maybe you're getting people to come to a live webinar or an automated webinar, whatever it might be. But the true conversion always happens after a positive response. What most people mess up when it comes to cold email is they treat cold email as like, they think that the goal or the number one KPI of cold emails is to book a sales meeting. And now you might be thinking, whoa, bro, what are you saying? Makes zero sense. But no, booking, like the actual cold email doesn't book sales meetings, or really rarely it does. Maybe you have a calendar link in your email. Maybe someone goes to your landing page because of your email, and sometimes it can happen. But the main objective of cold email is to book positive or get positive responses, get positive, warm, interested leads, and then these interested leads get converted into sales meetings through different appointment setting practices. So maybe you're responding to their email and you're setting them over email. Maybe you're calling them. Maybe you're following up with them on LinkedIn. But the actual process to get a positive response to a sales meeting has nothing to do with your cold email, Like that's a completely separate process. That is a sales function. That is an appointment setting function. That is not a marketing function. The same way, if you have a marketer or a marketing department running ads to a lead magnet and it generates a bunch of leads, boom, 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 you have 100 warm leads, 200 warm leads, the marketing team isn't the team that goes and books those leads in. It's the sales team. The sales team takes the list of leads and they start calling them and following up with them and emailing them. So when you're doing cold email marketing, your goal is just to get a positive response, and then it's a separate function. to book them into a sales meeting. And why this is important, why does this matter, is when it comes to cold email and the cold email process, what is good to understand is like the first response is always the hardest to get. It might not be the positive response, but the first response is always the most difficult one. After you have gotten the first response, it's way easier to follow up with them and set them into a meeting or just have a conversation with them on email. So we want to optimize for the first response we can get. Or at least when we are using this strategy. When we are using this strategy, this is the case. So you pretty much decide where the bottleneck is. If you have a cold email that is just optimizing for positive responses, your bottleneck is going to be, you're going to have a crazy amount of positive responses. So your bottleneck is going to be, or your most important thing is going to be booking positive responses in the sales meetings. But you can also have a cold email that is optimizing for sales meetings, and then this is not really a bottleneck. What is really a bottleneck is making the cold email good enough to be able to do that. So that's why, unless you have already a lot of cold email experience or you have a campaign that is already printing, that is why we just optimize for positive responses and then optimize your appointment setting process to book them into a sales meeting. So how does the strategy work? The strategy is extremely simple, or the email is extremely simple, and it's called, I don't know, it can be called whatever, but originally when I heard about it 3-4 years ago on Twitter, or when I learned about it, it was called the one-line cold email. And I think Christian Bonnier talks about it. He's a great cold email guy as well. And he talks about it, and it's the one-line cold email. And I think he was the first one who brought it up to my attention. So pretty much what the email looks like. The email is extremely simple. You first just do a greeting. So you say, hey, John, or whatever their name is. Hey, first name, merge field. And then you just ask them one question. Nothing else. You ask them one question, and that's it. That's the only thing you need. We are pretty much just optimizing to get as many positive responses from the campaign. So then the person or the sales team or whoever, the inbox manager, has a lot of leads to work through to book them into meetings. And if you have a really good inbox management or appointment setting process, it's going to work extremely well. Of course, if you have a bad appointment setting process and if you're a retard, then of course it's not going to work. Like the funniest thing always is a lot of people who run cold email, they always try to, like here we would have the appointment setting or inbox management appointment setting process. Like someone gives you a positive response and you have to respond to them, yada, yada, yada. People always try to get rid of this process. They hyper fixate on the cold emails, but then when it comes to actually talking to the leads that are interested in your thing, like they hate it. They want to hire a cheap VA, or they want to add some kind of a template, or they want to use some automated AI sequence, whatever, to handle their inbox management, which is stupid because that is one of the highest leverage functions in a cold email campaign. Like the cold email usually is pretty easy. Like what is like the important part is, okay, what do you do when someone responds positively? So if you think about it, like just in order of priority, if you are a business owner, the highest leverage thing in like before you hit 100K a month, what you can do is doing sales meetings. Like compared to spending an hour of your time to how much money that hour makes, sales meetings and sales calls and following up with prospects is going to be like the highest leverage thing you can do. It's going to be really hard for you to find anything that is higher leverage than having sales meetings. It just is. Like maybe if you're writing a sales letter or a VSL, or maybe hiring some like really key player could be a higher leverage. But like one of the highest leverage things that you can do as a business owner is have sales meetings. Your hours are just spent better that way. And the second highest leverage thing you can do is you can talk to positive interested leads. Like I hear this often, like someone doing 20K a month and they're like, I don't have time to do inbox management. Like bro, like that's the only thing you should be fucking doing. Like if you have leads who are interested in buying from you, you should be calling them, you should be talking with them, you should be following up with them on other channels. That is the second highest leverage thing that you can do. So if you're being lazy with talking to your interested responses, then of course this is not going to work. But as long as you're not a retard, it's going to work really well. So you're going to ask one question. And what is this one question going to be? It's going to be a trigger, or it's going to be a question around your that qualifies someone to be a fit for your service. So it depends a little bit on what you're selling. But for example, if you run a B2B lead generation agency or client acquisition agency and you help people get more clients, you could just ask, hey John, are you looking to or are you able to take on more clients during Q3? And this is the email. And then you can just do cheers, Leevi. You know, and this is the whole email. And this specific email, we used to rip like years ago. We used to like book crazy amount of calls with this, and then I like posted it on Twitter or YouTube or somewhere, and then like everyone on the planet Earth started using it. So people like became blind to this email because they got this so much. So it doesn't work as well anymore. But years ago, we used to rip crazy amount of calls with just this email, because pretty much what the workflow was, like someone said, you asked them, are you able to take on more clients during Q3? And then the person receiving the email, obviously, they would naturally think that, this person probably is interested in becoming our clients. He's asking if we have availability to work with them. So of course they say, yes, we are able to take on more clients during Q3. And then your appointment setting, then you pretty much get a response or a positive response. Boom, positive response. And then what you do is you either call them or you email them, respond back to the email, or ideally you do both. And you tell them, hey, John, great if you're able to take on more clients. The reason why I was asking is because we help companies like you to get more clients. So do you mind if I show you how it works? Let's hop on a call. Boom. And because they have already responded to you, it's way easier to talk, or it's more likely to get a response from them because they're already invested into it. And you have their attention. Or you can call them, hey John, you just responded to my email about you being able to take on more clients during Q3. That's super great. The reason why I asked that is because we help cybersecurity companies in Europe like yourself get more clients during Q3. So we can get you this and this many more clients in Q3. We have this process, we have this mechanism, we have these case studies. Do you mind if I show you how it works? Do you have a time Tuesday or Wednesday morning to hop on a quick call? Boom. So we ran this, or whatever. Let's say you're running, what could you be selling? Let's say you're selling a recruiting service. You could ask them, hey John, are you planning on hiring anyone to your sales team this year? Or whatever, are you planning on hiring anyone to your sales team this year? And if they respond yes, this means that they are qualified and a good fit for your service. And you say, okay, great, John. The reason why I ask is we help IT companies like yourself hire blah, 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 blah. Or whatever. So just think about from the frame of like, okay, what would make someone a good fit for our service? Let's say you have some kind of really specific tool or technology. Let's say you are a clay agency and you help companies using clay better. So you could ask, hey John, are you using clay for your current outreach? Boom. And this obviously is only smart if you only work, or like it could work it could work both ways. So if someone responds, no, we are not using clay, then you could say, okay, great. Hey, we help companies like you implement clay so you can get all these benefits. And if they say, yes, we are using clay, you could say, okay, great. We help companies use clay better, whatever. So just pretty much think what one thing would signal that this person could be potentially a great fit for our service. And again, if we think software development, let's say you're building MVPs for startups, you could reach out to a bunch of startups and say, hey John, are you planning on building your MVP in 2025? Or are you planning on improving your MVP? Or are you doing any bug fixes on your MVP? Or are you satisfied with your current state of your MVP? Whatever. So we just always want to go for a trigger that signals that, hey, this person would be a fit for our service. So for example, this is why that works so well. Hey John, are you able to take on more clients in Q3? And a few main things to keep in mind here. Just make sure that it's super easy to respond to it. So make sure that it is yes or no. It has to be a yes or no question. It can't be, hey John, how many clients are you able to take on in Q3? It's harder to respond to, there's more friction. So make sure that it's yes or no question. And make sure that you're not just blasting this email to a million people, because you could do that, and years ago we would do that. We would have like a hard qualification like this. We would just send it to thousands of people every single day. But nowadays, you might get marked spam for that, and your deliverability is going to suffer. And because deliverability is more important nowadays than it was a few years ago, you don't want to be really doing that. Like ideally, you're going to be sending this email to people who you know are going to respond yes in most cases, and that they're going to be a fit anyways. You're pretty much just using this as your way to get in and way to start the conversation with them. And again, What makes this strategy work isn't this email. Like you can go rip this and you can go and get like here, I think I deleted the screenshot, but you can go and get like 200 responses. You can get 150 responses, most of them being positive responses. You can go and do that, but nothing is going to work if you don't have a good appointment setting process. This is going to be the thing that either makes or breaks this whole strategy. Normally, you front load the email a bit more, so you are like a little bit more upfront and you say, hey John, we want to have a meeting with you because we can do this and this and this and that. Obviously, at that point, people are already in the frame of having a meeting, so it's going to be easier to convert them into a meeting. But with this strategy, what really matters is your appointment setting process. You know, if someone gives you a yes response to this, it doesn't mean that they have already agreed to a meeting. It only means that they are a great fit for your service potentially and that you have already sparked a conversation with them. They're responders. So they are a way warmer lead than just a cold person would be, but you have to finish it off with a good appointment setting process. So a few things to keep in mind is when you respond on email, respond via email as fast as possible, you know? So you have to respond to them really fast. If you are able to respond to them in 3 minutes, you're gonna book more calls than if you're responding to them in 30 minutes. So the faster your time to response is, the more meetings you're gonna book. Second thing, warm call all responses. This is a massive life hack. Like we have seen just implementing this one thing, like triple the performance of a cold email campaign. And the best thing about warm calls is you don't really need any crazy sales skills or cold call skills. The lead is warm and you already have a connection with them. You call them, hey John, I just sent you an email and you responded and you said that you can take on more clients. I wanted to just quickly call you because we do this and this and this and that. Or the reason why I initially reached out is because we do this and this and that. Can I show it to you? So the warm calls are easy as hell. Follow up multiple times. Minimum 5x times. Again, I see this like so often. Someone sends me an email or sends me a DM somewhere with their offer and I say, yes, this is really interesting. And it's actually interesting to me, but then I just get busy, I forget about it, whatever, and I stop responding because I'm busy. But then they keep reaching out, and one time they hit me up at the right time when I'm just looking at my emails or looking at my DMs, and I have a great time to respond back to them. So follow up multiple times, minimum 5s. Follow up on other channels. So follow up on email, follow up on LinkedIn, follow up through coworkers, you know? So if John, the CEO, responds to you, but he stops responding back, reach out to the CMO and say, hey, I was talking with John, but he's not responding back to me anymore. Could you please hit me up or hit him up for me? Whatever. Calls, of course, follow up with calls, and you can get creative. You can follow up to other forms as well, but these are going to be the main big channels. And have a clean CRM updated. So you should track all of these on your CRM. And just in general, you should know the data. You should know what the numbers look like. You should know how many people respond positively to this, how many people actually end up booking a call, how many people get followed up, how fast do you follow up with them. And as long as you do these things, like you will crush. Of course, we have to remember that everything else has to be good. Your landing page has to be good, your VSL has to be good, your digital footprint has to be good, your LinkedIn profile has to be good, your offer has to be good. You need to know who you're targeting. You need to be able to have a good appointment setting process. You need to have a good sales process. There's like other things like you can't fix. Like if you have a garbage offer or your landing page is trash or your VSL is trash, like this strategy won't fix it. But if everything else is good, this is something that you should 100% run. It's really low effort. It's really easy to crack. And if you have a good appointment setting process, you will book an extra 10, 20, 30 calls a month, surely, you know? So go do this, go implement this. We made a bunch of money with this over the years, so go run it. Of course, if you want to work one-on-one with me and my team, scale your agency, build better funnels, build better VSLs, have a better offer, have a better niche, have better cold email campaigns, have a better sales process, all this stuff. If you want to scale your agency to 50,000 a month, go check out the link in bio, Agent Velocity, go book a call. The logo looks like this, you know, that's how you know you're on the right page. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye.